Okay, so this is the old fuel valve. I just took off this generator, ETQ TG4000. It was leaking gas real bad out of that valve. A little bit if it was closed, a lot if the valve was open. So I spent all that time messing with the carburetor, got a new one of those on, finally found one that worked. Then I went to start it and the fuel valve was leaking. And I figured out why when I took this out. I don't know if you can see down there. I don't think you can see it on film. A piece of the tube had been broke. So what happened, this tube, that's the fuel filter that goes up in that valve, had broke off into the valve. So that would explain why it was leaking gas. And this thing's just a cheap, made in China plastic. And it's old, and it sits out here in the garage and gets hot and cold, and then when you run it, it vibrates and heats up. So I imagine these break pretty easily. So anyway, that's what happened. So I got a new one. Comes with a new tube and a snap ring. And that end's just going to go right down in there. And then I'll take it and rub the other, or push the other end up in there. Right there. Just got to line it up and make sure you don't cross thread it. It should go right up in there because I was able to, luckily it broke off. I was able to take some needle nose pliers and pull it out of there, the old one. I pulled it out of where it goes up in there, and then the other piece was broke off still in the valve, so I got lucky there. Went ahead and blew it out, and of course I drained the fuel out. I put blocks in the back, so I raised it, tilted it forward, and I went ahead and took the air filter off. And then just disconnected the fuel line because I had quite a bit of gas in there, so I just emptied it. And now the new one, I should just snap that line in and then just run it up through that, through there, and then this will just screw in. But it's hard to find parts for these because they don't make the ETQ anymore. So you got to go through a lot of different sites, and half the time they send you the wrong size, and or most of the parts I find are made in China. They're very cheap, but sometimes they don't work out as well. So it's kind of a struggle finding good parts that work for this. So all right, I'm going to put this on and then we'll see if it runs. Stay tuned. Alright, to take that cover off, had to use starting fluid. It hadn't started so long, but no leaks. No leaks in the carburetor. Oh, looks good. Put gas in it and let it sit. Then I turned the fuel valve on, let it sit, make sure there was no drips. Like I said, I had to put some starting fluid in it, spray it in it, but it started right up first pull. I'm gonna let it run for about a half hour or whenever it runs out of gas. I didn't fill it all the way. I'll check it here and there, make sure there's no gas leaks. And then when I turn it off, I'll check, make sure there's no gas leaks. But right now it looks good. Of course, Dad only used the 93 octane gas, so I need to get a new air filter, a new spark plug. That'll probably be next. I got new governor rods and springs coming. I'll probably put those on next weekend. It's nice to know if there's an emergency, I got it right now, ready. So, check one more time. No leaks. No leaks up there. No leakage here at the carburetor. Looks good. Hallelujah. Thanks for watching.